going to set this 12 gauge loader up right here, just barely off the screen. I'll kind of move the camera a little bit for loading up some dove loads. It's dove season, or by the time you get this it'll be dove season where you're at. And I like to load a 7/8 ounce load even in 12 gauge. That's what we're going to load it, 12 gauge, a 7/8 ounce load. The reason I do that is because the pellet count is way high even with a 7/8 ounce load of 7.5s or 8s, which is great for dove. So we're going to set this loader up and get it all ready to go. And so we're going to go 7/8 ounce, so we're going to use a 7/8 ounce bar for our mech loader. The particular load that I'm loading, this is the website for Hodgdon Reloading Center. You can go right to their site and get this. So that's where you'll find this load, but I use international powder for my 7/8 ounce loads. The reason I chose this powder, and you can choose whatever powder you want to fit for your 7/8 ounce loads, is because I can shoot a 7/8 ounce load in 12, 16, and 20 using the same powder. Now, I may not use this, I won't use the same shot or powder charge, but I'll use the same powder, different bushing, to get that. So now that's where that comes from. But this is Hodgdon's powder, and the powder is international, and I'll use a Winchester 209 primer. I use a WAA12L, which is a Winchester, or the Claybuster equivalent will work. The powder charge I'm going for, that I need to drop for my desired velocity, and I like 1,300 feet per second, because that's about the limit to where it'll cycle in automatic. If I get lower than that, it won't hardly cycle in automatic with that low of a shot charge. So we'll go with 21.5 grains of this powder, and the pressure is 7,400, so it's very low pressure, and that'll give me 1,300 feet per second exactly. If I don't have a bushing, that'll drop that, but if the range here starts at 1,250 feet per second and goes to 1,400, the powder range goes from 20.7 grains to 23.1 grains. So if I can get within that, then I know I'm in the ballpark of being able to load that load exactly like this says. So, and fortunately, I have a number 32 bushing here from Mech. This number 32 bushing drops exactly 21.5 grains. It says that in the book, it says that on the scale, and that's the load I'm going to put together here. So that goes in the bar on the powder side, and I'm not going to bore y'all to death with me loading up all this stuff on the loader, so by the time y'all come back through the magic of cameras, everything will be set up and we'll be ready to start loading, and we'll put together a few of these 7/8 ounce loads. So see y'all in just a second. The Nitro Golds are also known as sometimes Nitro 27 handicap. That's the hole we're going to be loading, and we're going to be putting a 7/8 ounce shot in it. This is it's mainly a clay target load that you find these in. This was in max drum equivalent, 1 1/8 7.5s. So we're putting 7/8 ounce of 7.5s back in these shells, and you can do that with no problem, especially with the right wads and right components. But this is you can hear this called many things. You hear it called a unibody, compression formed, solid, one-piece shell. That's because if you look in your lineman book at Remington, and I'll get you there, look in your lineman book in the 12 gauge and go to Remington, the STS Premier plastic 12 gauge 2 3/4. My note out over there, look at that, gold nitros. It's the same shell on the inside. Matter of fact, I've got some shells, newer shells that y'all haven't seen yet, and they are this Remington shell here that is, I call them green magics because Remington used to have a blue magic, but I think it's just a Premier and not a Premier STS. And then there's these Remington Peters Blue Magics that are wonderful, wonderful shells to load up. But anyways, we'll get these 3 Nitro Golds here loaded, and you can load these several times. They are very durable. To me, Remington makes the best reloadable shells on the market today. I know that the AA's used to be the gold standard, but AA now went to their AA HS. Not knocking the reloadability, because I've reloaded a bunch of those too, but I really like one piece, compression formed, unibody, solid plastic shells. It's just peace of mind. It makes me know that nothing's going to get lodged in the barrel or come out. And whenever it spits it out, this has been fired. When it spits it out, look at that. They ain't even got the writing knocked off of it. That still looks good. Still, I mean, if it was loaded, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that it was not a factory shell. When you look at this Remington Peters Blue Magic, this shell's from the 70s. Look at that. Look at that crimp. That crown. When you see that crown, you see that. I mean, that shell looks good. Writing's still on it. Says heavy 8s is what used to be in it. But of course, what we put in it, what I put in it off camera, was the same load that I put in this gold nitros, and I'll eventually have a different load for these shells. But this shell inside, same. Okay, well, we're all set up finally. The hull we're going to be loading is a Nitro Gold, Remington Nitro Gold. It's also called the Nitro 27, and they're very slick. They cycle very well in your guns. That's why I like them so much. My dad likes to say they feel like a crayon, real smooth. So I've got 3 of them here that we're going to put together. The wad that I'm using, I'll get you a look at this. This is from Claybuster. This is the CB0178-12. This is the WAA12L equivalent. It's a replacement wad for that. I've got Winchester 209 primers, which is by far my favorite primers to use. International powder, we're dropping 21.5 grains. And I've got 7.5 lead shot in here for dove. These loads can also be used for clay targets of any kind, just for having fun, you know. But anyway, let's get started. I think I need to give you a little disclosure here right quick, and that is because my sizer ring on my 600 Junior is not on there. I took it off of there because I have a Mech Super Sizer, which is a collet sizer. I like it a lot better. But I've also got that sizer, a collet sizer, on the Mech 9000 if I want to use that. But in any case, your standard 600 Junior comes with that ring sizer. It's pretty self-explanatory how you can use it. There's plenty. Mech has videos that tell you how to set that up. But anyhow, let's get started. We're starting something new. This is what we're going to call the hull of the week, and I'm going to try to do this once a week in various gauges, different shells, different loads. I have a ton of just various shells. Oh, well, not. I have various shells and various wads. I'll kind of be showing what loads I use in which shell, and kind of maybe talking about why. So let's get started. We'll take our shell, put it in here on the first station, knock the primer out. Of course, that has not been resized, just the primer's been taken out. I'll put it in this Mech Super Sizer, take it down, boom, that's resized, and it's resized without a single mark on it. That's what I like about it. Making sure that our repriming cup is clear. Got us a new primer in there that's set flush. We're going to put it in station number 3. We're going to drop our 21.5 grains of International Gonna take our wad. I like to look at it. I like to look and make sure that the wad is where I'm going to want it to be, and that my shot column height is going to be satisfied. Makes me confident that I'm going to have a good crimp when I'm done. Looks good. Let's check something. Yeah, it's 8-star. So we're good there. And there it is. Got a little bit of a swirl in the middle. You can adjust that out if you want to. It's just cosmetic. If it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. We will do one more here. Okay, these are overshot cards. I have them factory overshot cards, some in here mixed with overshot cards that I have made, and they're just thin pieces of cardboard. You just reach in there, grab you one. Made this out of I believe it was a Cheerios box. So, got our third shell here. Over to the deep priming station. To our mech supersizer. Really ought to mount that supersizer on a board. Primer's in flush. We're dropping our powder. We're putting our wad in. It's to the right height. Alright. Now, I'm going to put in this overshot card. Sometimes they're a little bit trickier than others to get them to go in just smooth like you want them to. There we go. Still a shade of a swirl, but the crimp is a little bit higher. Anyway, there's three. There's three loaded Remington Nitro 27 golds at 1300 feet per second with 7.5s, which is going to be a killer load, soft shooter for dove, soft shooter for clay targets, and it's one of my favorite loads to shoot. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody. Until next time, this is the very first episode of the Hull of the Week, brought to you by OK Shotgun Outdoors. Have fun with it, get the loading, always be safe, follow all the commandments of proper gun safety, and you will always be able to come back and look forward to the next time you get to go out and enjoy it. Till then, we'll see y'all later. Take care, like, subscribe. There's a Patreon page link that's going to be with this one. If you want to support us on Patreon, that'd be wonderful. And we'll be back with another one soon.